So today's class is going to base on the volume of a prism, and we are saying that if you know how to find the surface area of a prism, then finding the volume wouldn't be as difficult as it seems to be. All that you need to know is how to calculate for the base area. If you're able to calculate for the base area, then you should be able to solve for the volume of a prism. So let's look at this figure and label it as figure what? A. Let's label this as figure A. So this is our figure A. Okay, this is our figure B, right? So we have our figure A and our figure B. Now, let's take a look at figure A first. If you look at A, we also learned that the shape of the prism comes out with its own formula. So looking at A and B, even though they are all prism, we are going to have two different ways of solving these figures. For instance, A, if you want to find the base area of A, the base area of A, so A will be equal to the volume, which we are saying is equal to the base area times the height. But the base area, this base area, is also is the same as multiplying the length by the width. Is that okay? That will give us the base area. And at the end, if you want to find the volume, we can draw a conclusion that the volume of the figure A is equal to length times width times what? Height. And this will give us the volume. Now let's look at figure B. Figure B, because it is a triangular base shape, right? We are going to find the volume with the same formula, base area times height. But then the base area alone is half base height. So our volume of this is going to be half base times height. Then we multiply the whole thing by what? Height of the figure. Is that okay? We are going to take a look at an example, and through the example, you get to know what I'm trying to put across. All right, now let's look at a typical example of this. If we have something like this, let me try to take one figure from here. We solve this one. Let's copy this example, this one. So with this, we are going to use this one and solve the volume of this. So if you're asked to find the volume of this prism, is that okay? So the volume of this prism is going to be solved as figure A in this example. So let's solve it. The volume of this is going to be the base area multiplied by the height. And the height is h, as in the formula. Now, what is the base area here? We are going to have the base area to be what? 16 multiplied by 16, and then you multiply it by what? The height, which is 24. And if you multiply 16 by 16, which will be 256, and you multiply that one by 24, this should give us 6,144 inches cubed, because they are all inches. So when you multiply all of them together, you're going to get 3 inches multiplying itself, and you're going to get inches cubed. It's as simple as that. Now let's try to solve example and figure B. Figure B also, let's try to borrow one figure from here. So for instance, if you are going to take a look at this figure, let's take a look at this one. Yeah, let's copy this one. We are going to solve one of them. Okay, and after solving one of them, then I'll give you try question, and then we do it together. So with this, let's clean it up. Let's make it up for the next question. All right, so we're going to solve just the first question, which says we should find the surface area, though, but we are going to find the volume. We are rather going to find the volume. So let's solve for the volume. Solving for the volume of this, what we are going to do is we write down the formula first. So the volume of this is going to be the base area multiplied by height. Is that okay? So now let's find the base area. The base area of this is going to be half small b, which is the base of the triangle, times height multiplied by the height of the prism. So now you realize that this base, when you resketch this part of the figure, when you resketch that part, you're going to get something like this. Let's say you get something like this. And with this, the base of this is 5 meters, and the height of this is 12 meters. So this is what's going to be calculated as the base area. Then we are going to have half base. The base is 5 times the height, which is what? 12 meters. So this will be the base area. Then we multiply this one by the height of the prism, which is 3 meters. And this is 3 meters. And at the end, we find or we expand or simplify this. This 2 can go into itself 1 and goes here 6 times. So we are going to have 1 times 5 times 6 will give us what? 30 meters square. 30 meters square multiplied by 3 meters. So at the end, we are going to get 90 meters cube to be the volume of this prism. Please, is that okay? So at the end, this is the volume of the prism. Now let's try to solve question 4. After that, we will look at a real life situation. So you having this one, we write the same thing. We are going to write the same formula, and our formula is going to be base area, which is capital B, multiplied by the height, which is h. Now, we try to sketch out this one, this side. Let's sketch out this side. So sketching this, you're going to get something like this. You're going to get something like this. And then the base of this is 3 meters or 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters. And the height of this is 4 centimeters. Is that okay? So our base area is going to be half base. The base is 3 centimeters times height, which is 4 centimeters. Then we multiply the whole of this by the height of the prism. And the height of this prism is also what? 4 centimeters. Okay? This is the height of the triangle. And this is the height of the prism. This is that okay? Now that we know this, then we simplify. This 2 can go into itself 1 and goes here 2. So at the end, the base area is going to be what? 6. 1 times 3 times 2 will give us 6 centimeters square. Centimeters square. And then we multiply that one by 4 centimeters. And this should give us 24 centimeters cube. So this will be the volume of this prism. Please, is that okay? Now let's look at a real life situation. Assuming you went to the locker room and you found this, and you are asked to choose one of these to use as your locker at the gym or at the sports center, okay? So we have 2 of them, these 2. Okay, so assuming this is a school locker and a gym locker, and you are asked to take one of these. You can only choose one. Which one are you going to choose? Having in mind that which one can contain a lot more item. Because when you talk about volume, we are talking about what is the quantity and a figure can contain. So looking at these 2 lockers, which one can take more? Someone might say because the school locker is longer, then I'll take the school locker because it is longer and it can contain more. Someone also might cite an example like, okay, I will take the gym locker because the base is wide. Okay, so with this, how do you know which one can take more? You can only get to know after calculating for the volume of 2 of them. Now, before we draw conclusion, even though if you are asked to draw conclusion, because the base of the gym locker is bigger than the school locker, I'll go for the gym locker. But then we cannot draw conclusion without calculating. So let's draw. Let's solve for the volume of these 2. So the school locker, the school own, is going to be, the volume is going to be the base area times height. And we know the base area of this is what? What will be the base area? The base area is going to be 12 inches multiplied by 10 inches. And then we multiply by the height. And the height of this is what? 60 inches. Is that okay? Now, 12 inches multiplied by 10 inches should give us 110 inches squared multiplied by 60 inches. And this should be what? This should give us 120 times 60 should give us 7,200 inches cube. 7,200 inches cube. Now let's look at, or let's solve for the gym locker. So the gym locker is going to be calculated using the same formula. Base area multiplied by height. So at the end, we are going to have 12 inches multiplied by 15 inches. And then that will be the base area. We multiply that one by the height, which is 48 inches. So at the end, we are going to have the base area is going to be 12 inches multiplied by 15 inches, which is 180 inches square, multiplied by 48 inches. And the final answer should be what? 8,640 inches cube. So our choice wasn't wrong. Because the base is much bigger, therefore we can conclude that the locker with the bigger base can contain more items than the locker with the smaller base. Are we okay? So if we can solve this, then I guess we should be able to solve all the rest of the questions when it's being asked under Prism.